Greetings. I come to you as a spiritual seeker and a human, and somebody with a very complex and very tumultuous story to tell. These videos, of which this is the first and an introduction, are going to become a regular thing on my channel. I've had this channel for almost 15 years. I want to say on the About section it says March 26th, 2007, and that sounds about right. That's when I first got on YouTube and made a login, and that was, like I said, 15 years almost. Such a time ago. I was pretty new to the internet then. I had used it somewhat regularly in the previous years, but never YouTube until I'd say 2006, 2007. And here we are, 15 years later almost, and I've just made a handful of videos about music and guitar playing and my children as well. I've had videos with them on the channel, but this here is my first true attempt to have a video made that addresses the viewer in a way that is honest and legitimate, if that's a appropriate term. And I come to you as a reluctant teacher. Very reluctant, because I don't generally, I've tried to share wisdom in the past with people of all my experiences and all the things that this one, as the observer, has learned, and it's never come across the best. Seems to have fallen on deaf ears or not been received. So this is an attempt to do that and see if there's an audience for it. We shall see. So, as I said previously, I have quite a story to tell, and I will in subsequent videos. This is just the first, and it's my goal and wish to convey what the observer, this observer, has seen of the universe, and all the things that may help you, the viewer, in bettering yourself and your own perceptions of the universe. And as I say, I feel reluctant in this role, but I feel over recent times that the universe has been showing me that this is the way I should go with all of this, and with this YouTube channel, and with everything in the life that I've lived. So, and at this point in my life, I'm at one of the probably lowest spots I've been. This is truly going to be an honest introduction, and so much that I'm going to starkly express where I'm at in my life. And I so dislike using words like my and I and me, because this one has come to the point where an I or a me truly doesn't exist anymore in here. That concept seems childish and lower, I guess, than what the true nature of the universe is. And as I said originally, I come to you as a spiritual seeker and a human. And I've been on a very long journey. I won't say journey, I don't like that term. It's been a very long, I wouldn't say long, it's been a very fruitful path. Been a lot of knowledge gained, a lot of wisdom consumed, consumed, not really that. A lot of wisdom that's been taken in, and along with all that's been observed. Time truly has come to be cyclical in this one's view. Things seem to happen over and over again in a similar way, or the same way. After 40 years, how long I've been alive. Much of what has been witnessed is the same story over and over again with different characters. And sometimes funny, sometimes tragic. That's for sure. I don't know about this angle, this camera angle, but that's what it is. I'm not trying to do any pro-production here, aside from some mild editing. That's a thought already in recording this. Probably a song intro, because for this one, music is everything. Sound is everything. So to go back briefly to the stark reality of where life finds itself for me. And once again, I say me reluctantly. When I say me and I in the future, it's generally out of conversational habit. It's not because I'm trapped in that concept. So please know that for sure. At this time, I am living in a room in my mother's house, reluctantly so there as well. Otherwise, I'd be living in a car. And it's very cold this time of year right now here in Oklahoma. It's in the 20s and 30s at night. So that's Fahrenheit. I don't recall what is that in Celsius? About zero. Pretty cold. Pretty cold. Either way. So more or less homeless, I would say. And have found myself to be in one of the lowest spots in life as far as friendships, in-person friendships, having one's own place. But otherwise, considering those things, life is really good. I was a smoker for 25 years roughly, and I have not smoked for many months now. And I was also a cannabis user for a solid, and I'd say many times a day, solid 5 years, up until 2 months ago. No, maybe 3 months now. And I've been doing very well with cessation from both of those things. Daily life is not easy still, with overcoming those habits and just getting rid of them altogether. But have done it fairly successfully. And there's a lot of joy there in getting rid of those demons, if you want to call them that, or ascribe such terms to them. Though the living arrangements currently are difficult. I've spoken about my mother on another video on this channel, and it wasn't very favorable in what I talked about. But she is a very difficult human being to live with, as I'm sure the background audio you can probably hear if you listen close enough to her being very loud and obnoxious. I will say my mother is a very obnoxious human being. Both of my parents are. It's led me to some kind of comical revelations almost, that I feel that I developed a sense of over-accommodating to other people as a trauma response because I was raised by such obnoxious human beings. But maybe that's unfair and mean to say about them, my mom and dad, but I do feel that way. They're very obnoxious people. And that's okay, that's who they are. Always have been, always will be probably, despite best efforts to help. And so that element in daily life, when here, which I try to keep to a very, very minimum of being here, make things a little bit more difficult, I'd say, but there's no suffering in it. That's one thing that in my path and journey, I use that term reluctantly because the concept of life being a journey is not really a thing to me. I think that's a silly notion. But in life and its progression, it's been difficult being here around such obnoxiousness with how I have evolved. Absolutely has. But it's you take everything that comes at you in times of not adversity and adversity, and use it as a good test or a good challenge, or just as a good way to strengthen yourself. That's one piece of knowledge I could impart there. So, getting pretty long on this video here, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'll be doing probably 2 to 3 a week, and that's being really generous. It might be less than that. It might be more like 1 a week. But this being the introduction, I feel that maybe a solid 15 to 20 minutes is okay. That's quite a bit for somebody to watch, but maybe somebody will. I've looked at the numbers recently. I have 30 subscribers. I only really know of 2 of those people, I think, maybe that one that comments regularly. Hello, Adam, an old friend of mine from years ago. But people have been more generally interested in my music, so I'm going to try to incorporate that into this video. Maybe just a music intro, audio only. But the coming videos will discuss specific topics, like about certain concepts, like most likely of an I always mispronounce that word, existential nature, like the self, and life and death, past lives, current lives, well, not current lives, the birth-death cycle. Various things like that. And I'm sure you can hear the previously mentioned obnoxiousness. It's very difficult to be around someone that talks as loud as they possibly can and doesn't really listen, but wants to just talk and yell and not take in, but more spew out everywhere. But such is this one's karma. Well, I want to thank you for sticking around and watching this if you have, and thank you so much for being here. And there will be much more to come as time progresses forward. But I'm happy to share this evolution of self, in so much that there even is a self. That's another topic that will be covered in a future video. The concept of self, but the evolution of this being with you. And so I'll close with saying namaskar, and thank you for being here.